Welcome again, students, 8th graders. This is the second part of the two videos that we have been working for you in order to you can have like a very synthesized study material for your third partial exam. The big idea when we get to talk about the Qin dynasty is that it unified China with a strong government and a system of standardization. In this case, the first Qin emperor created a strong but very strict government, and we can say also that a very unified China was created through the Qin policies and achievements. In this case, about the Qin dynasty, we can start saying that the Warring States period marked a time in China when several states battled each other for power. One state, the Qin, built a strong army that defeated the armies of the rivaling states. Eventually, the Qin dynasty united the country under one government. In 221 before Christ, the Qin king Yingzhen succeeded in unifying China. He gave himself the title of Shi Huangdi, which means the first emperor. Shi Huangdi followed legalist political beliefs, and he created a very strong government with very strict laws and harsh punishments. So first of all, we have to say something here. We have to find the differences between policies and achievements, and two main policies of the Qin dynasty were that strong government was related to very strict laws, and that the standard laws, writing system, money, and weights, they were spread out through China. And in between the achievements, we can mention, well, that the Emperor Shi Huangdi and the Qin dynasty unified China. They built network of roads and canals, built irrigation system to improve farming, and built the Great Wall across the northern China. Shi Huangdi changed China's old political system. This is very important to remember. He claimed all the power and did not share it with the lords. He even took land away from them and forced thousands of nobles to move with their families to the capital so he could keep an eye on them. This was to control, or to have a better control. Another thing that we have to be taken on account is that Shi Huangdi's policies, even though unified China, his policies also stirred resentment. Many peasants, scholars, and nobles hated his harsh ways, and still Shi Huangdi was powerful enough to hold the country together, but when he died in 210 before Christ, China was unified, but that didn't last. Within a few years, the government began to fall apart. So in this case, as a very brief summary, we can say that the Qin Emperor Shi Huangdi's policies and achievements unified China, but his harsh rule led to resentment, and after his death, the dynasty fell apart. On the next section, we are going to be learning about the Han Dynasty that came to power after the end of the Qin. In 1974, archaeologists found the tomb of Emperor Shi Huangdi near Xi'an and made an amazing discovery. Buried close to the emperor was an army of more than 6,000 life-size terracotta or clay soldiers. They were designed to be with Shi Huangdi in the afterlife. In other nearby chambers of the tomb, there were another 1,400 clay figures of cavalry and chariots. Each terracotta soldier was different with its own facial features, hairstyle, and unique expression. Um, And basically, he was very important because he was one of the most powerful rulers in Chinese history. He was the first ruler to unify all China, and he is also remembered for his building programs. He built roads, canals throughout China, and expanded what will become the Great Wall. So talking about the Han Dynasty in this case, which was the one that came to the power after the end of the Qin, we can say as a very important big idea that the Han dynasty, created a new form of government that valued family, art, and learning. So in this case, the Han Dynasty government was based on the ideas of Confucius. Family life was supported and strengthened in Han China, and that in this case, it's important as well that the Han made many achievements in art, literature, and learning. When the Qin dynasty collapsed in 207 before Christ, several different groups battled for power, and after several years of fighting, an army led by Liu Bang won control. Liu Bang became the first emperor of the Han dynasty, and this Chinese dynasty lasted for more than 400 years. Based on the Confucian system, people were divided into four classes. The upper class was made up of the emperor, his court, and scholars who held government position. The second class, the largest, was made up of the peasants. And next were artisans who produced items for daily life and some luxury goods. Merchants, well, they occupied the lowest class because they did not produce anything and they only bought and sold what other people made. The military was not an official class in the Confucian system, so still joining the army offered men a chance to rise in social status because the military was considered part of the government. During the Han Dynasty, the Chinese made many advances in art and learning. Some of these advances can be considered like pretty much important. They work a lot in science, in medicine, and basically the Chinese of the Han period produced many types of different works. They became expert at figure painting, for example, which is a style of painting that includes portraits of people, and portraits of often showed religious figures and Confucian scholars, and the Han artists also painted realistic scenes from everyday life. Their creations covered the walls of palaces and tombs. In literature, Han China is known for its poetry. Poets developed new styles of verse, including the Fu style, which was the most popular. Fu poets combined prose and poetry to create long works of literature. Another style called Shi featured short lines of verse that could be sung. Han rulers hired poets known for the beauty of their verse. Han rulers moved away from legalism and based their government on Confucianism. This obviously made families' bonds strengthen, and in addition, art and learning thrived under Han rule. So basically, this is the summary or the synthesis of what you should be considering for your third partial exam. I really hope you get to study, guys, and I really hope to see you very, very soon. I love you and I miss you.